At the time, there were many stories that you were going to take over the country. Were they true?
No, it isn't. In 1970, Mrs. Gandhi's stock politically was very low. And I remember I was with the American ambassador, Kenneth Keating, who was a great friend of mine, at a cocktail party, talking to him, when his number two, who was a CIA man, came along and said, "General, when are you taking over?" And I turned around to Kenneth and I said, "Kenneth, when is Westmoreland taking over?" And he laughed. He said, "Well done, Sam." One day, I was in my office at 4 o'clock when I had a direct telephone line with Mrs. Gandhi. She was in Parliament House. She rang up and said, "Sam, are you very busy?" And I said, "Prime Minister, the army chief's always busy, but never too busy to see his Prime Minister." And I, in my breezy way, walked up, and she was an actress. She was sitting down like this. And I said, "Hello, Prime Minister. You seem worried." And she looked at me and said, "I have problems." And she looked me straight in the eye and said, "You are my problem." And I said, "Now what have I done? Have I made a speech or done something stupid?" I said, "Now what have I done?" "Everybody says you're going to take over from me." Now that shook me for about 3 seconds. I walked across. She has a long nose. I have a much longer one. I put my nose next to her. I said, "What do you think?" And she said, "You can't." And I said, "Oh, you think I'm so incompetent?" "I didn't mean that, Sam. You wouldn't." And I said, "Much better, Prime Minister, much better. I'm going to tell you a little jingle, which my daughter, when she comes back from the convent, recites to me. You mind your own business, I'll mind mine. You kiss your own sweetheart, I'll kiss mine. I don't interfere politically as long as nobody interferes with me in the army."
And that set her fears at rest.
That's right.